Yes, blessed. Who's ready for some boom, baby, boom? And just like that, all the snow is gone. The sun has risen, and the warmth is here. I can't tell you just how cool last night was, but I'm gonna try. Actually gonna put some clothes on and get down there. My buddy's trying to meet me for the food. There's a food festival going on, and I'm gonna be a part of it. You know what I mean? Because my attitude is changeable. You know, turn that attitude off. That's this morning's marijuana motivation. Had all these little kids on their TikToks, and as soon as they get off that device, they dwindle down to nothing. And I was just like, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is the way you are. This is the way that you choose to be. And it's not like you can flick it like a switch. Now you got to live in negativity. And this is the morning motivation. This is Saint's Addiction. I made the new shirt last night. I'm addicted to this high life. And every morning I get up and I reach, preach, and teach to people how to live their life better. Not how to, but just heighten it, to enlighten it, if you will. Enlighten me for a second while I have this conversation in the morning. Because I got to go pick up my friend for some food. Actually, he's waking me up so I can go get some food. But last night was mad real. Right now, it's mad warm. And I can't believe that people can still stay mad. This is the question of our lives. Little girls, dancers. Let's try to give free stickers. I'm in a snob contest, and I don't know what a sticker is. And uh, I'm not angry. I'm just tired. And I went, life's too short, motherfuckers. And I left them and stop acting like a bitch. And this is it. You think that you have power to act like a bitch. You think that you are empowered to slam your drink down at the end of the night. You think you're so tough that no one else is watching your lies and your shit. All right. I see you, bro. And I raise you a good attitude. And that was such a powerful thing last night. My friends are like, what do you want? And I'm like, high on life. Literally made a shirt, high on life. The high life is inside me. And my friends were just like, bro, you have the best vibe. Where you come from? He kept asking me questions, and we were talking deep about sobriety. And he was sniffing a coke, and I went, bro, that's the worst drug. You think you're gonna go meet some chicks, and all you do is end up seeing dicks. You end up being, instead of going for taking some bumps off some titties from some lesbians in a bathroom, it's a bunch of dudes with their keys out trying to take bumps from you. I think that was the one time Freeway Rick Ross did some coke with his friends, and they only wanted him to do some coke so they could take some coke off of him. Right? Those ain't your friends. The people that are always trying to get free stuff off of you, don't tax your friends. The people that don't know how to change your attitudes, those aren't your friends. And all the people that want to weigh you down with their drama and their mentality, they ain't your friends either. I got news for you. People will tear you down if you let them. If you let them hop in your mentality, if you absorb their attitude, you know, it's so rude. You know, rude begets rude, and violence begets more violence, and that's what ends up happening. People get so stuck, they don't know how to stop. And this is why I'm having this conversation this morning. Because these little girls needed a smackdown, and they were in a competition of being the biggest bitch, even when they were trying to be the best looking bitch. And the best thing you can wear is a smile. That's why I got news for you. I'll be throwing on some shoes. I gotta go meet my friend downtown. See how beautiful it is. Look at that Finland flag just flying in the breeze. Isn't that beautiful? Apparently I was too ambitious with the jacket. So it all comes down to the attitude. You know, I have an ambitious attitude. I go out of my way to not be rude. I go out of my way to change my matrix. And for those that are inside the matrix, they are desperately trying to get some attention and some realness. And the first thing they do is they get fake. And this is the rudest, probably worst app you can have, is an attitude of ingratitude, right? I'm gonna actually go straight to the same old story. Welcome to the morning motivation, by the way. I can't talk because my buddy's inside and he's sleeping. I don't want to be rude while I'm staying over at my friend's. Got a rock in my shoe. Let me get this thing out real quick. He gave me a pair of shoes that keep getting rocks in them. Nike Cortez, baby. Nike Cortez. So yeah, there's your rude ass attitude, treating people like you're able to turn it off. And here's why your blessings are turned off. Here's why nobody wants to work with you. This is why things don't work out for you. It's your attitude. Nobody wants to take accountability for it. They're like, what's wrong with all the men? What's up with all the women? The moment that you reflect it out to somebody and put it on them, instead of putting the impetus on yourself and what you can control, you are now outwardly focused. You're now trying to expect somebody else to come save your ship instead of learning how to sail. These kids. Easter. He's literally got Easter. He's literally got Easter bunny ears. I've never seen that in my life. A boy with Easter bunny ears. That was fucking cool and cute. Even the mom's like, it's so cute. It's so cute. Everybody's being so cute. Even your kid's cooler than you. You're cool. Your kid's cooler than you. She's cool. Yo. Everybody's got sunglasses. She's like, what's up, man? What's up, bro? The sun is up. That's what's up. I came out with my shirt off. He said, go back and get your coat. It's still 50 degrees out for all of us that speak Fahrenheit. But man, is it a blessing to be up all right? My buddy called me and said, come get your ass out here. There's a street food vending. The sun is out. And I said, I will. You know, not at first, my other side of me was on the attitude of, I just woke up. Everybody's sleeping. Bring us some food. And I would hibernate. on a Sunday, instead of getting up and out here and getting that light on me. I don't just talk about it, I be about it. This isn't I told this to myself and thought this out loud, but I'm not here for entertainment, I'm here for education. And the kids last night were trying to break bread, and they were just getting blown away that I was smoking weed with Mike Tyson, or that I met Jay-Z and Floyd Mayweather, or that my stories are cool. And I said, yeah, but I've been through so much turmoil. You're like, what? You've been to South Korean prison? Maybe that was nothing to you, but that was a half year of stress of my life to me, and it's affected my life ever since. Max is like, you sure you haven't got over it? You mention it a lot. I just mentioned my trials and my tribulations, man. I can't tell you all achievements and be like, Great Wall of China, bitch, suck it. You know what I mean? It's not enough. It's not enough. Few niggas left, few real ones left, bro. And real is at a premium, you know, like everyone else is sucking a toe or sucking a thumb, and they want to blame someone. Look in the mirror, son. Look in that mirror and be like, how was that attitude check? How's my, you're doing a fit check, right? Like, how's my fit? How's my fit? Weed on shirts, High Life, Saints Addiction. How about, how's my attitude? How's me? How's this soul that travels the world and is now in the sunshine, and you can see the spring in the trees, every little bud, you know what I mean? It's so beautiful. And you can't stop spring. You can't stop the spring from sprunging. And you can't seem to stop yourself from fucking tripping. And only a fool trips over something behind them, right? You want to get in front of yourself. This is like a proactive approach, because homeboy was over there doing coke. Now he's got to do more mental push-ups. You know what I mean? Like, he's got to get into his zone, and he can't stop it because, you know, like, I always stop here for the pedestrians in Finland every time. It's pretty cool. But you can't stop yourself from complaining, right? I told my friends I had quit complaining. I had quit anger. You know, I still have my food, sex, and weed. But, like, I had to choose the addictions I was letting take control of me. I had to get into my zone and say, okay, if I really wanted to be out of depression, the rule book says, go to Google. Got to drink plenty of water when you get up in the morning. I didn't. I smoked weed. Got to get that fresh sunlight on your eyes, especially first thing in the morning. And now all these guys want to live these lives, but they're living lies. This is it. This is why people aren't happy. You put your strength into a master, a chemical, right? A habit. You can call it whatever you want. You're a slave to it. And nobody wants to be a slave to a master, but they don't mind being a slave to a coffee, right? They don't mind being a slave to cocaine. They don't mind that most of the stuff came from the slave trade, right? Like, you're doing stuff that's almost like cobalt or anything else, right? Yeah, welcome to Finland, where everybody starts coming outside in the sunshine. Yep, this is Library Park. We're here at the Bibliothèque. Your boy Marky Saint sparking it up. My favorite park to park and spark. We spent almost like a whole summer 2 years ago just playing frisbee out here. And now that the weather's changing, clothes are coming off, and it is a beautiful day too, right? I love my life! How many people did I get? 1, 2. He loves his life too. Look, he's afraid to give a thumbs up. Who else went behind him? Bro, this is a beautiful day to love your life. And if you've turned yourself off, if you turned your attitude off, if you turned your perspective off, let's see how many people were staring at me. Yeah. If you've turned your yes off, how about that? You know, I'm talking about the power of yes from Terry Prince, my spiritual mentor, right? I'm gonna film everybody staring at me because they have to stare at themselves. You know what I mean? Yeah, bro. I got 1 thumbs up. That's what it is. He's still looking. You know? And look at this wind. Fucking kicking it up in the end. This is what it comes down to. Everybody's trying to find happiness. We're just all getting it from different sources. Once again, if you plug in and you let that extraterrestrial TV, news, social media pump your little brain and psyche full of the negativity, guess who's a bitch? That's right. Guess who starts acting like a biz natch? You do. And instead of controlling your voodoo, instead of controlling your direction, instead of controlling yourself, you end up throwing yourself into a crisis that there is no help. Check out this tree. I'm gonna start smoking some weed. Probably not around people, but that's a metal tree, by the way. But that's where you end up getting stuck. We get stuck on ourselves and we can't even help ourselves out. We can't help ourselves out off the couch, right? We can't stop ourselves from complaining, right? This thing up here needs to be in control. And when you give up your control to the cartel, um, to your feelings, right? To the obvious that you can't stop yourself, bro, I got news for you, homie. Now you're in the matrix. Oh. Even the beautiful girls work it out. Even the beautiful girls work it out. It's a beautiful life to be a part of. You know, you can live in someone else's regret. You can live in someone else's stress. You can exercise the demons or let them live inside you. The choice is completely up to you. And this is what we do. We go back to our lower vibrations. Instead of trusting in the universe, we start stressing. We start calculating, and how much is the math, and what if this happened? Instead of what could happen, we pumping ourselves full of the negative, going like, I can't do that. You know, I'm like, change your mood, right? Like, that'd be the biggest control. That would be the biggest flex. Change your mood. I'm being serious. Switch up your attitude. Switch up your patterns. Do something different. I'll wait. But then again, life won't. And that's what we end up happening. Instead of happening to ourselves or happening to our environment, we start to complain. We start to pump ourselves full of comparison. How's my ass look? Wait, no, let's ask Johnny. And then Johnny's gonna be negative, and then we're gonna go back to the gym. Who's in control? Why are you asking if someone else thinks your ass is nice? Don't you think your ass is nice? How about that attitude? That ass though. How about that attitude? How about that attitude, bro? Oh shit, we got a race. Oh shit, we had a race. This is how they vote in Finland. It's like high school. You come up and everybody puts their high school face on, right? I don't know if you can see this. Everybody's got their high school face on and you vote for them by a number. That shit crazy. Come on up. Come and vote. Mind your business, lady. Welcome to downtown Chickarilla. I told you people are voting. This is how they vote. And this is how life is when you have plenty of abundance, but you don't have any substance. When you are full of everything, anything you want to purchase, but you can't find happiness. It's inside us all if we want to see it, you know? But most of us don't want to be it. We want to be negative. Look at what she's wearing. What does that say about you? So these people enjoyed the sunshine. You should be too. You should be sitting on a park bench with your friends, enjoying the weekend, enjoying the sunshine, getting outside and moving around. But no, now you're stuck. You're hungover. You don't feel well. You got sick, you know? You just ruined another day of your life. And you're on some, why is this happening to me? And I'm saying life isn't happening to you. You are happening to it. And most of you don't want to be it. I am the one that's not in fear. And that's what I was explaining to him. I don't live in fear, bro. And that's the difference. He's like, your vibe is so strong, man. Your attitude's so good. How do you do it? And I'm like, because I believe in myself, homie. You know, I believe in myself. And then I even talk to the girls and everything. Gorgeous, gorgeous, with the fake lips and the snobbery. Didn't even look. And now when she goes with that attitude, a lot of this European attitude, bitchy attitude, now when it's time to talk to somebody, you're not ready. You're turned off. It could be the man of your dreams. Oh, told you, he said there's going to be food courts here. Could be the man of your dreams. But you were too busy being rude and not knowing how to reject people properly. Oh, there's some Vietnamese food. No shit. Euros, coffee. Here we go. The whole thing. It's a full-on food thing going on right now. No shit. Look at this. Chicken burgers, barbecue burgers, all sorts of shit. Dips, chips. I'm gonna eat some shit, man. This is the most people I've seen in this city in a minute. But that's what it is. If I didn't get up, I wouldn't have been able to change the channel, y'all. I wouldn't have been able to put a smile on my face, you know, and that's what the competition is. Look at some of these burgers, bro. There's a chili dog burger, a teriyaki barbecue, Nordic Street Kitchens, the grill. Look at this shit, man. This ain't shit. This is looking good. Where did him go? It's deer, reindeer. No, okay. It's a fish, bro. Ah, Quitos. I thought it was something else. It's fish and chips, baby, from England and Finland. And there's where it's at. You know, it's where we make it. That's cool too. Japanese stuff. Don't mind me, don't mind me. Ooh, how are you? Yay, thank you for saying hi. Takoyaki. Thank you. Go ahead, bro. And look who was ready to shine and got a shout out. Her. With the smile on her face, she instantly got +2. And all of us want to be on some -2, -5, minus my life, minus the things to go right. Bro, you're shutting yourself down, homie. Every time with your negativity and your bullshit. This looks like Turkish food. Look at that. It's Chinese, no? Turkish? Okay. And look, she just stared into the oblivion, like the little girls told me. No response. Yo, hi. Look at this. Venice. It's like Italian desserts. Yeah, I got you. My other homies. Look, there's a mango lassi, bro. Oh, thank you, bro. He's giving all the prayers and samosas. Yeah, bro. $6 mango lassi, bro. That might have to be me. I got you, bro. And that's me in the sunshine smiling. You know, this is me appreciating that life doesn't have to be this negative ass shit that we make it. We don't have to sit outside and fucking take it. You don't have to live your life the same way every fucking day. You can challenge your reality and make it possible to be exactly what you want to be, bro. And that's this morning's motivation, homie. That's what it's gonna be. This is gonna be. Yeah. And we're here for it. What's up, man, Mark? I want to scoot in. Thank you. Don't mind me, I'm still on the phone. Oh. And here we are, Kuhaya, in the sunshine, same old story. Looking here, chilling outside with Yoni. We came from yesterday. He was in Las Vegas. He came and meet me. It's a true story. Yeah. All the stories are true. He'll tell you in Finnish, I'm sure. Yeah.
He remembered that time when Aki is coming to this place and asked me, what do you do next week?
Yes. Asked me.
Asked me.
Oh, yeah. And he said Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we just take
Just
the
like
flight.
that.
Yeah.
1 week.
And Pickis is living in Tikkurila, 74 years.
Ah, okay.
Everybody
here.
Everybody.
He's a local boy.
Everybody in Tikkurila knows Pickis. Pickis is ex ice hockey player.
Ah, boom, Jokeri. Ah, he pointed right to his heart.
Pääsin pelaamaan Jokerit. Mä pelasin Tikkulan jääveikosta Sedussi.
TJV, sulla on pipo.
There it is, Vanta.
Yeah.
70-luvulla.
Oh.
16th and 17th, he played in TIV.
Okay.
That is
TIV, the symbols.
Wanda.
Yo, okay.
Tapajäähän nimille.
And Pickis is a very good player in that.
Nice. Tell him I'm making a shirt for this old story. Old story. Remember, same old story using the font, and I'll give him a shirt.
Mitähän sanoo?
Se tekee sulle painaa. Same old story, same story.
This font here, the font on the window. Same old story. I have one for you. Yo. Yeah. He knows. Tell him the chigata, the hoo.
We have a couple of things.
You have to translate in Finnish. Yeah.
Silloin niinku tällaisia hauskoja suomalaisia juttuja. Sä oot ottanut niinku, sä tiedät Bauhaus. Niin se on tehnyt siitä niinku huu. Ihan samalla fontilla. Ihan saman näköinen, mutta se on niinku huu. Ja sit sillä on niinku Vantaan logo. Tää mikä on tommonen kolmio. Se Vantaan niinku vaakuna tai se. Niin siinä lukeekin vittu. Ei Vantaa, vaan vittu.
We get him a sticker. Yeah.
Sä saat kaikki niitä, jos sä haluat.
Yeah. I'm gonna smoke out here because mine's not all. Yeah, I can smoke. I have to smoke. I'll be right back.
Yep.
Yeah, man. This is a Finland life, bro. It's nice and easy. You know, there's food trucks out here. People are at the same old story. We're doing this thing. And if you wake up in the morning, you're doing the damn thing. And most of us, we're pausing the thing. We're hating on the thing. We're negativing the thing. And it's just like, life's too short for your bad attitude, bro. No, it's no one's job to tolerate you. It's your job. It's your job to reprogram you. Kill the app. Kill the ants, the automatic negative thoughts. I kept telling him all my cheat codes, and he wasn't really listening. He didn't really grip the fact that I literally have to do the mental push-ups. I don't know why people get so close to me. Every morning, there's a decision to be like, if I stay inside again, I know that TV's gonna program me. I know that the walls are gonna close in on me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you know, but like that shit's a reality. And I'm living in my own reality. You know, like you gotta get real with yourself. And a lot of people ain't trying to do that. And my buddy was like, yo, I wanna do this spiritual thing. I wanna get deep. And I'm like, you don't wanna get deep. Because deep requires reflection. Going deep means that you're gonna have to go in some dark places. And it also means something's gonna have to change. Most motherfuckers will fist fight you not to change, bro. Downtown Tinkerilla for 70 years. I get to come here and hang out with my friends. So you know why I'm here? Told them this morning, about 5 o'clock this morning, the sun was back up. He said, you know why I'm here? And he says, what did he say? I don't remember. But my point is that I'm here to see my friends. They don't even come to me in Vegas. I have to go to them. You already know what I look like, so check out the view. Same old story. People chilling, day drinking, maintaining their dopamine, chasing their dopamine pathways. You know, I was explaining this to them. They didn't want to hear me this morning. We were at the bus stop, sucking on a lollipop, waiting 20 minutes for the bus to come by. And I was like, you know what? Like this again. I told him, you know what? You know what I do? Same thing you can Google, but you won't. Get a tall glass of water, go outside, move around, get healthy, quit my addictions, including the non-substance ones, you know? Realigning, that's another one. Because if you're alignment with your goals, than you are with your visions, your imagination, and your energy, you know? I was saying to them, just like Neville Goddard's been preaching to me, if you were to, how do you value your time? You know, are you always stressed? Are you always under the gun? Are you stressed? You know, or are you appreciating it and on time with everything and believing that the universe is conspiring in your favor? If you miss the bus, are you gonna bitch? Be honest. Most people would bitch. Most people would moan, and then they're stuck in that attitude. They have officially parked their mood in bitch mode, and they kept in a resting bitch face. They kept their negativity hat on. I put this coat on with a smile. It's my smile coat. You know? How'd you frame it, you know? Hell yeah. Put up a poster, bitch. Posters in an hour. Let's go. Yoni prints those. His dad started the print shop, Pinocopa. The one I want to be a part owner of. The one that I'm manifesting for, you know? So I hope they put it up, bro. I really do. I hope they put this. Oh, they didn't put theirs up, but I hope you put yourself up to an adventure, to a challenge. The biggest challenge of your life is, why can't you control yourself? Who's in charge of your ship? What kind of winds and sails are you giving it? Look at these little girls. There are 3 on a thing. That's so funny. Downtown Tikkarila, everybody's starting to wear less. More people are starting to come out. There's about 20 people on the street, 30 at max, and this is called full. You know what I mean? I could walk straight down the middle of the street and no one would be the lesser or the wiser, bro. And no one would stop me too. You know, talk about freedom. Talk about freedom. Free yourself from mental slavery. Bro, they'd love for you to just sit here and purchase and never travel, never see the other side of yourself, never challenge yourself, never get the balls to leave your house. But this motherfucker just say 70 years. I'm not dissing them, but goddamn, I got some friends that won't even leave their hometown. And then I'll be like, have you ever been there? And they're like, no. And I'm like, that's kind of the equivalent of California to Colorado. You know, that's a big drive. I don't know if anybody knows, but it takes about 8 hours for Vegas. From Vegas to Cali, and another 8-10 hours to Denver. It ain't a fucking like slow roll, bro. This is a lot of motherfucking energy. And that's what I'm talking about. Just a lot of energy. Where am I putting this energy? Am I putting this energy into this energy? This GME, this gangster, this fucking OG, LVOG that has lived a life, that can sit there and tell stories and not have to tell lies. He's like, no, bro, no. I have that tattooed on my arm. I'm like, I bet you do, bro. I bet you do. And you should too. I'm people staring. Sorry, my bad. I should be appreciating the booty. And I'm over here monologuing. Caught me monologuing again. But yeah, man, you know. You want to see Finland? You want to see people wear European fashion, especially down in Helsinki? Do you want to see people try to express themselves in an environment that's usually shut down by the weather? There's a dude rocking a tank top and shorts. He's like, fuck y'all all. You know what I mean? My buddy, I was like, coming out t-shirt. He's like, go back, get the coat. I was like, no, look at even her. She busted out her red hat matching her red lipstick, matching her red coat. Go get him, girl. Hell yeah. That's like my grandma. She always flexing. And I want you to flex on your life, bro. I want you to flex on yourself. We really did have a great last night. It was the pink full moon, right? And we were enjoying it all night. And my energy was just high. And he was just like, what are you on? And I'm like, I'm high on life, bro. Like that I'm even out here, that I'm even making money. You know what I mean? I made about 60 euros last night, bro. I went from 0 to 60 real fucking quick. And I was so grateful, bro. I was like, I gotta buy my weed. My weed man finally stopped doing his coke so he could show up with the weed. The girls were all dancing. I even danced a little bit. Some old crooner kissed me on the lips. Some old lady kissed me on the lips last night. Bro, it was so much fun. And then I go in the back and the girls' attitudes are all just mean mugging. And I was just like, what the fuck, bro? Turn that attitude off, bro. Turn that no to a yes. okay? Turn this negativity into positivity. Do something with your stress. Don't just let it live in you. Don't just share it with your friends. Don't be like me and call them all up like I used to and be like every time call everybody and explain to them, some silly shit. You know what I mean? I had some silly shit that was triggering me, making me feel icky, making me feel cringy. And guess what ends up happening? You know what ends up happening, bro? Oh, roll it out, roll it out, roll it out, roll it out, roll it out. You know what ends up happening? I end up bitching and still not feeling any better. I end up being an emotional tampon, trying to get somebody else to absorb my negativity. If they were my friends, they would listen to me. And then I would turn my friends into my psychologists. And that would be about 3 hours of my day till I could feel right, even though it still was triggering me. Do you know what I mean, bro? Like, you see? I know I see. I'd be like, God damn, that's me. That's what I'm doing. I'm not healing. I'm like re-triggering. I'm firing myself up on some stupid shit. And you know what I mean too. So all of us in this life trying to act right or do right or get to our right, that rightness inside. If you're trying to find it from the outside, now you're dependent on it, right? Now you're chemically dependent on that substance. Now you have to go get a bump to stay up, And I literally, this is a real true story. I was telling true stories last night, but I literally fell asleep. I fell asleep in the lifeguard stand after a Coke binge. Yep, at the Hard Rock in Las Vegas. That's a true story, bro. And not only is it embarrassing to go drinking and shit your pants, not only is it embarrassing to see some of these people, right? At the after fact, I can talk and show at the same time. After the facts, when everybody's at downtown London and these girls are fucking falling all over themselves with their $600 skirts and they're just literally passing the fuck out in the streets, can't even stand up straight. Do you know what I mean? Can you see that people, look how much life is around me? Even the birds are chirping. And that's what ends up happening, bro. We end up turning down our chirp. I was telling them that, Coke, it was like, it was the wrong channel. Turn the TV channel. It's never the right channel. It's too loud. Turn it down. Turn it down. It was like nails on a chalkboard. I could vividly remember it. I couldn't get myself straight. And now I have to do all this shoveling, all this work to reprogram myself back to normal. To get myself back to normal, I'm going to have to sit there for another 3 days. You know what I mean? How long does it take you to get unhungover? I don't even know how to explain that. And now my buddy's sleeping off his because alcohol's a depressant and it kills your brain. And now he's going to have to spend all day losing a day instead of wearing a flashy jacket and walking around and being happy. No, now you got to be inside your head doing the wrong kind of mental push-ups, the wrong kind of peeing on the side of the building, the wrong kind of mental push-ups, bro. Now you got to push yourself out of bed instead of like picking yourself up and saying, hey, I love my life. Nope, they're on some, another day, or where's the water, or, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like shit. Can you imagine that being your programming? The way that you felt would feel like shit if you kept sniffing that shit. And he said, oh, that week I met you, I was on some X. It totally depleted my serotonin. It took me a week to get back to normal. And that's what we are all on. A weekly cycle. Not like a menstrual cycle, but a weekly cycle of, it takes 5 days to recover. It takes 2 days to destroy. And if we stay in that cycle, it'll be the same old story. Same old story, bro. Sitting here for 70 years, not changing the tune, not changing your attitude, not changing your perspective, not giving yourself a chance. I'm here to tell you, I want real happiness. And I'm saving the best for last. There's a reason for the season here, folks. And it's not just a smoke joint. And it's not just traveling the world. That wasn't it at all. What I told him is that if you really were an addict, you really addicted to this high life right here, right? You would want the highest of highs. I never wanted the bads to happen. I constantly wanted to have a party. I constantly wanted to pump myself up with the glory and the light and the fun. And why not sprinkle some more fake dopamine like ecstasy on top of it? And let's put some girls and some cocaine in it with it too, right? Now we're on a yacht. All of this stuff is like firing these neural pathways in my brain that I was going to be happy. And I wasn't. And I wasn't, bro. And you get to these levels and you go, yeah, man, as soon as I get that car, man, I'm going to be so happy, man. It's not. I told my friend when we were in the sauna last night, I thought it was going to be like winning the lottery. I thought it was going to be like, boom, we made it, 15 million in your pocket. Neville Goddard's on some act as if you already got it. You're waiting for the day to be happy, and the day is waiting for you to be happy. Who's spitting some fucking game? Your boy Marky saying. And I was spitting this game to them on the fucking sidewalk for the bus. Yeah, I was on the bus waiting for them. They walked me to the bus, and for the next 20 minutes I explained to them why I stopped doing cocaine, why ecstasy is depleting my actual serotonin, why I get up in the morning and get the fuck out of the bed, just put on the damn shoes and just come out here, wash off your face, put some deodorant on, a little smell good, and boom, I'm in the game, bro. I'm changing the sunshine into my melatonin to turn it into my serotonin. Yeah, bro. It works just like that. And that's why everybody's outside. And that's why everybody's wearing less. And that's why this guy's in shorts eating ice cream in the wind chill. It's my boy, bro. With the shorts. He's a fucking stunner, dude. He's a fucking one stunner. With the backpack, too? Oh, it didn't flip. Yo, why is it not flipping? Oh, it's tripping. Damn, dude. He's already walking. But yeah, on the jacket, shorts. And I thought he was wearing a tank top with the cool backpack, eating ice cream in the cold, bro. It ain't even that cold, but people still have to wear a jacket. Little kids still have little hoodies on. It's not that warm yet, but it's about to be. You're not unaddicted, but you're about to be. And the reason you're about to be is you probably stuck around long enough to hear the real message of this situation, right? Like I said, I'm here for education, not entertainment. I really did preach, and teach to those boys last night. And he really did leave me some voicemails, maybe multiple ones. 11 voicemails of just like, bro, I really appreciate what you said to me. It really made sense to me. And I said, I just had the thought when I was coming back on the bus. I ended up leaving my shirts there because I was too high. But the thought was just like, you want the highest of highs. I mean, really, an addict wants to stay fucking buzzed, bro. And I'm fucking buzzed, bro. I'm this way all the time. It wasn't like I was just like, hey, let me turn this TV off. No, bro, I'm turned on. I'm turned on sexually. I'm turned on mentally. I'm charged creatively. And that's because I don't stop myself with some negative bullshit. Oh, I can't get up. My buddy said, get your ass up and get out here. There's food carts and there's fucking sunshine. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to swallow a big old glass of water, smash the food spot, yoki yami, because the girl smiled and she was nice to me. That means the food's made with love. I'm going to stay out here in this sunshine and this fresh air. I'm the freshest air in the world. I'm going to absorb my friends while I'm here. I'm going to absorb every day and not take it for granted. I'm going to start getting appreciation and gratitude like a motherfucker. That's my A&G. You want to be an attention whore, and it doesn't work for you. You keep bowing down to the YouTube or the TikTok, and guess what? No one's watching. No one even cares. And then you're like, why does no one care? Because you're not giving anything of substance. You're doing replication, duplication, and you're not improving. And it's just like, dude, if you really want to stay high, if you really want the highest of your life, you would be working out. You would be working on your health. You'd be working on your diet. You'd be working on your wealth. You'd be working on your mental mantras. You'd be working on your positivity. You'd be working on your perspective. And this is the mental push-ups that I do. It's not like you can see me doing the work. I keep telling that same old story, but the guy was saying the same. He was going like, aren't you going to count? And it's like his uncle. And he was teaching him how to wrestle. And I'm just like, bro, I see you. It's me. I see you, bro. Thanks for the shout out. And he was like, bro, Are you gonna count? And he's like, do it or don't do it. You're gonna win or lose. Up to you if you're doing those mental fucking push-ups, bro. I'm not gonna sit here and count to 50 for you. You know how to count. You know what I'm saying? You know how to beat yourself, but you are so hesitant by fear. You'll spend time believing in your fear. You'll spend time believing in sky daddies, right? Ooh, look at the spring is coming in the trees. That's so awesome. You know what I mean? And we'll give all our energy to these things like they're our master. Like, go ahead, anxiety, you teach me. Let me ramp myself up in the morning. Let me pump myself full of this. Oh, what I got to do and what's not working. Right. Guess what ends up happening? You know what I mean? That's your attitude for the rest of the day. You wore the rude coat, bro. Try saying that 3 times fast. Put on the rude coat. And that's what those girls were on. And I was just like, really? Because I'm having like the time of my life. My birthday is in a week, bro. And I wasn't even thinking about my birthday. I was just saying it's a pink full moon. It's great energy. We outside. I got myself off the couch. I was tired. I was yawning. I got out of the sauna. Lord knows I wanted to curl up on the couch, and my boys went, and they never been before, right? Like, how the fuck you grew up here 70 years and never been Pila Pica? I just never been before. And I'm like, you're doing things new. And then my other buddy said that too. I've never gone up here before. It's like, come see something new. This is in your city, and I'm sourcing it. You know what I mean? I'm sourcing a guy to give me free 7 grams of weed. That's the highlight. I'm sourcing this energy from the sun, and when I get cold, I go back to it and I say, warm my soul. Warm my soul. It's been hurt. It's been brokenhearted. It's been broke before. You know what I mean? There's some healing that needs to be done. And just like the flowers and just like the trees in the spring, that's what's happening to me. You know, I can feel it. I earned it. You know, coming back to what do you call it? A quick winter, or they call it a fool's winter here. When I came, it was 15 degrees. Boom. Next thing I know, it was raining. Not raining. It was a drop in snow and rain too. 4 or 5 inches. Yesterday morning, and it was all melted at 50 degrees, and the moon was coming up full, and the sun was still setting, because the sun never sets around here. Like, it was still yellow and orange in the horizon. I pull so much from my life, you know. I pull so much from my friends. I'm sourcing my highs differently. If it worked, I'm telling you right now, in your face, I would do the coke, I would do the boat, and I would do the hose if it worked. I did all of those, and it didn't work. I went to the career. I went to the car. I had the car, the career, the condo. It didn't work. I did the let's try some drugs. You know, let's do some powders. Let's do some potions. Let's do some motions, and it didn't work. So then I had to quit the motions. That means no more sexual advances. That what the girl say? Would she say self-deprecate or go get my jollies off of someone else? Literally, someone wrote that. A girl said that. It's like, you know, I'll sleep with a random, right? Like, you're gonna try to get your dopamine any which way you can. And these highest the highs, the high life, I keep trying to say, you know, to be that high, to be that kind of guy that always, like he said, I'm all in all the time. I don't know why people get so close to me. I'm like literally by a sign. He almost tackled the sign to be that close. You know, to get that high, like, oh, I'm on the boat, and I got the coke, and I got the hose, and then you're not happy. You don't believe me. I know. It's going to be hard to believe, because guess what? You're still believing that your joy is on an external source. You're still believing that someone else is going to come and make you happy. You're still thinking that there's a substance on this planet besides your inner source that's going to guide you into some mystical land that's going to just be like, I'm happy, I'm rich, I can flex. None of them are. Hollywood burnouts, dying at 27. Well, I'm turning 45. Elvis died at 42. Like, I was like, damn, I didn't know I passed Elvis. And I want to pass my grandpa too. He died at 52. So it's just one of these things that's like, you know, every day of our lives is a gift. You know, we tend to bash it. You know, we tend to compare to it. We'll sit there and see what the minuses are and wonder why our attitude is negative. I got news for you, homie. There's nothing on the news but the blues. And if you're going to pump yourself up with that sorry, if you're going to pump yourself with that sorry-ass substances, or you're going to pump yourself full of that sorry-ass shine, or you're going to pump yourself with that sorry-ass fakeness, you know what I mean? And that's what you're going to get. And he's like, oh, you're so real. I love your shine. I love your attitude. You got a good vibe. And then when I came back and I told my buddy, he's like, you actually do got a good vibe. And I was like, thanks, Yachty. But it's more like, I've been working on my vibe. why, bro. I've been doing the mental push-ups and just like not giving myself the excuses to be negative and complain. I don't allow myself to complain. Can you imagine that? For almost like a decade, I sat there and said, after traveling the world, my life has been really so blessed. You know what I mean? I got to tell some badass stories, smoking weed with Mike Tyson and Snoop Dogg just the last month. The boys were tripping. He's like, no fucking way. And I'm like, hell yeah. And Jay-Z and Floyd Mayweather Jr. are arguing over who's going to pay for the bottles. And Floyd doesn't even drink. You know what I mean? And I told them the story. They all fell out. And then I did my own thing. People stare over like, what's he doing? I'm doing my thing. And you should be doing your thing. You should be enjoying your life. You should be maximizing, right? You want to be, what's the home math? He says he has something to maximize course. To maximize your life, you're going to have to bring some value to your life. You're going to have to actually execute your ideas. And if you're not too busy wasting your time and your resources on drugs and the other shit, that's why I never go back. That's why I'm not going back to the depression. That's why I'm not going back to the negative. And that's why I don't act that way, is because I don't want to block my fucking positivity. I don't want to block my shine. And I definitely don't want to block my opportunities, bro. Like, for reals. You think that you're going to just be grumpy butt face and bitch face and say some rude shit, and then the next guy that you really need to impress is just, you're not going to have that vibe on you? I think not. I know not, actually. So, when I'm preaching, teaching to people, and I did to these boys last night, and I was just like, look, homie, I done been there, done that. And he's like, dude, me too. And I was like, exactly. Look, here come the police trying to roll up on your homie. Fuck the police, bro. Fuck the police. This is Phoenix police, bro. I'm filming them while they're filming me, Look, they roll up through the fucking place. You don't even know. It's crazy. That's a police car in Finland. Yeah. And dude, and if you live in the fear, if you live in some kind of false reality, if you can't handle people trying to sweat you or think negatively of you, then that's what's going to be, homie. That's exactly what's going to be. You need to get to reinforce yourself. You got to be on your own opportunity. You got to be maximizing your health. You got to be maximizing your wealth, and you got to be maximizing your day to get to achieve the real natural happy. Not this stuff that now you got to chase it, buy it, forget it. Yeah, because you end up forgetting after too. Once you do the substances, you actually lose the time and the resources and the memories. I had to remind the boys that too. So was it even fun if you can't remember it? That's what I asked myself. And that's where Saints Addiction came from. I was just like, bro, like, you just spent how much money on this cruise? Bro, I got stories to tell. Going to Mexican prison, 3 days, 3 nights in an Ensenada prison. They're like, bro, you got to start a podcast. I'm like, I was just about to in Vegas. He's like, you got stories to tell. I'm like, I'm not just doing one podcast. I'm doing a whole studio of multiple podcasts. There should be weed news. There should be Join Weed Club around the world. And there should be more information like this. So this is why I built Join Weed Club. This is why it's Saints Addiction. And this is why I reach, preach, and teach every morning. Because it was like, I'm not going to regurgitate this information every day. It took me a whole hour to process this. I wanted him to get it. And I think it sunk in. And I hope it worked for you too. Peace and love. And as always, Chigaton. That means goodbye, but not forever in Finnish. And I'm here in Finland. And I will see you on the other side as soon as you like, share, and subscribe, bro. The other side of your fears, the other side of your excuses, and the other side of the world, because that's where I am right now. Right now. Go be free. Peace.